Hey guys, it's Dan. Just wanted to make a completely different style of video here. There's going to be no fancy Gamma documents, no cuts, no edits, no nice introduction. Just me talking to the camera and explaining to you guys exactly what I would do and some of the mistakes that I've faced when it comes to scaling an agency. Now, for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Dan. I'm 28 years old. I've been in the agency space for over 10 years now. I've scaled multiple successful companies. And I also have a coaching and consulting business called Client Capital, where I've mentored and scaled over 100 agency owners. And in this video, I wanted to talk about something that I'm facing a lot when I'm talking to new agency owners. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the winning niche. So many people come to me and say, Dan, what's the best niche for me? Or what's the winning niche at the moment? How can I position myself so that people come to me because I have the best niche in the market? Honestly, guys, there's no such thing, right? Yes, there's going to be better niches than others, and it really does depend on all different factors, right? It could be ticket price, it could be legislation. There's so many things, right? But realistically, for you guys that are just starting out, you don't need to worry about a winning niche. You need to improve your skills. You need to be able to do a niche that you can understand, right? Something that is, easy to follow, understand the industry, come across as a subject matter expert. Gain authority in that industry and test it. So for those of you guys watching this video at the beginning, I would say this: if you're struggling with picking a niche, do some niche testing. In fact, I'll give you a story of a guy in our networking group called Diran. He was, initially he was in a different niche. He came to me, asked me what niche to do. I said to him, look, home improvement's a very good niche. I then told him to do some niche testing, okay, and really understanding and do some market research calls. And by doing 55 market research calls, he was able to identify a massive pain point in the home improvement niche here in the UK. And after that, he ran his inbound system and was able to get to 4K MRR very, very quickly, right? And he's on his journey to doing well over 5 figures a month. And the real moral of the story here, guys, is he identified a pain point. And he did that by getting off his ass, picking up the phone, understanding what the industry wants. Because you can listen to loads of people online telling you what the best niche is. But realistically, your clients are going to know the biggest pain point. And that's all you really need to know. So if you know their pain point, we can present a viable solution that is actually going to match that pain point. You're going to be able to come across a solution that is going to take them to the next level. For example, another issue that I see on a daily basis with agency owners is, this company's already got Facebook ads running and they've already got loads of leads. So what do I sell them? Well, think outside the box. Just because a company has loads of leads, that doesn't mean you then sell them loads of leads, because all you're doing is selling them what they've already got. So what about how qualified those leads are? What about nurturing sequences? What about implementing some sort of AI? What about understanding different services that you could perhaps even drop service? But the best way you're going to find that out is by jumping on a call with your prospect, right? Because your prospects are going to tell you their pain points. Now, the second issue that I see a lot with agency owners is they say to me, Dan, I'm trying everything and I don't know why I'm not at 5 or 10K a month, okay? And I'm sure some of you guys watching this video are probably feeling the exact same way. And hopefully this video is going to help you get there so much quicker. I want you guys to imagine this. If you've got a diary filled with 6 calls a day, just 6 calls, that's all I'm saying. And let's say 3 of those calls don't show up. And I'm being, really honest here. A 50% show up rate is not great, but let's just say you're at 50% show up rate. So you've then got 3 calls that turn up. So if we work that out, let's say you have a 10% close rate, which is, by the way, completely under industry average. Industry average is 30%. I still think industry average is extremely low when you've got a very good offer and you understand how to close effectively. But let's say you're at 10% close rate. Well, that would only take you 4 days to sign a client. 4 days. Okay, and that's based on 6 calls a day, 3 of them showing up every single day, and you closing 1 out of 10. 4 days. Now, in an ideal world, you'd want to fill your diary even more. Okay, and I understand that. That's what everyone aspires to be, and that's what you're going to get to when you have the right client acquisition methods. But that should tell you something. If you're looking at your diary and you've got 1 or 2 calls a day, and that's not giving you a wake-up call, then the agency world isn't cut out for you, right? So all I need you guys to do is this: fill your diaries. And how do we do that? Well, first of all, you can check out some of my other videos where I go into a lot more depth. But you've got to think about this. You've got 3 ways to secure clients: outbound, inbound, organic. Okay? 3 ways. Now, obviously, there's other ways. You can do referrals, okay? But I'm on about controllable metrics that we can track and scale to get to that next level. So, first of all, we start with outbound. 100 calls a day. That's fair enough if you're running an agency. 100, 150 calls a day. Email marketing, LinkedIn outreach, Loom, DMs if you have to. I'm not a big fan of DMs myself, but still could get you a couple of calls, especially if you're just starting out. You then got an inbound system. Spend 10, 20, 30 pounds a day on ads, okay? You will see easily 3 calls a day out of that once you start scaling. So you've then got your inbound system, you've got your outbound system. Content, okay? Even when you don't get loads of views on your content, you will still get calls. I still get a lot of people coming through my content to come and work with me directly, right? And I don't have a big following at the time of this video. I think I've got about 200 subscribers. So what I think you guys need to really understand is, if your diary isn't filled, then how can you expect to be at 20, 30, 40, 50K a month? Because that's the step that you need to take. So if we're working backwards here, it's about getting a viable offer. Get something that people would be crazy to say no to. In fact, at the end of this video, I'll link my video that teaches you how to build an irresistible offer, okay? Go and watch that video. Build an offer, do some niche testing like I just said, and fill the diary. There's that, okay? Now, even if you are not confident with sales, you need to eliminate that limiting belief, because realistically, practice makes perfect. That is how you're going to get better. But also implementing frameworks, understanding how to do sales calls, okay? The 1 call close, the 2 call close, objection handling, framing, all sorts of things. And I have done a video on that as well, so feel free to check that out. But they're 2 things that come up to me on a daily basis, like all the time. I don't understand why I'm not signing clients, or I don't know what niche to pick. Now, the 3rd one is, Dan, I don't know if I can charge more than 500 or 1,000 pounds. And that just seems to be one of the most common limiting beliefs I've ever heard. And I want you guys to understand this. If you're targeting a business owner that is doing £10,000 a month and you're trying to charge 5K, you're not going to close them, even if you are insane at closing. Or you might close them, but it would be very difficult, right? That's 50% of their revenue before they've paid themselves. If they've got any staff, pay their staff, their overheads, anything. So that's the first issue, why you can't charge more. You're targeting broke people. The more revenue a business has got, the more profit a business has got, you're actually going to find it easier to close. So if a company is doing £100,000 a month, which still isn't a crazy amount for some of the companies in your niches, right? And you try and charge them 5K a month. Well, that's 5% now. We're not talking 50% of their revenue. We're talking 5%. Okay. That means if we have an irresistible offer that is going to take them from 6 figures a month, also 100K a month, to 200K a month, you don't think they will invest 5K. And that's the issue. A lot of people have limiting beliefs. And one thing you'll realize is, once you have an irresistible offer and it's crazy for them to say no, there is no reason why they won't invest in your agency service to take you to that next level. Because realistically, if you've got that irresistible offer, you can genuinely take that company to the next level, then why would they say no? You've got to position it. You've got to position it with authority, things that you can control on the sales call. And that is going to help you get to that next level. So for those of you guys watching this video right now that is charging 1K a month, £500 a month, I want you to rethink your offer. Watch my video, rethink your offer, target a completely different ideal customer profile. Stop targeting businesses that are doing 10K a month and struggling to close them. Start targeting businesses that are doing 100K to £1 million, okay? You will still find the decision-making process the same, but you're gonna get so many more closes. And even if you get less closes, you can close one client that would equivalent to 10 clients at £500 a month, which means you're gonna be doing 10 times the amount of work for the same thing that you're doing for one client. So retarget your ICP, retarget your offer, sell with conviction, and you'll be able to charge more. And I think the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and this is something again that comes up like massively. At what point do you outsource? And again, like I say, I think SMMA or agency is sold like this dreamy business model. And don't get me wrong, it is great. But outsourcing shouldn't even be in your head when you're at 10K a month or even 15K a month. Until your diary is filled and you can no longer commit your time and effort for your clients, that's when you outsource, right? You have to remember, like, a lot of people think outsourcing is going to save you loads of time, but what will happen, and I'll share this from personal experience, is you'll save a bunch of time, but you won't invest your time in it wisely. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you outsource your fulfillment right now, okay, as a young agency owner doing 10K a month. 9 times out of 10, when people do that, they lose momentum. So they don't end up scaling their sales calls and trying to get more. They just take that as time off. And that means your results go down, your clients leave, and all of a sudden you struggle to scale to 6 figures a month. So I would truly say this: outsourcing is great when you can do it properly, when you've got the right structure, when you've got the right working capital, you've got the right systems, you've got the right SOPs. Don't race to outsource everything straight away, because I promise you it will be a detriment to your business, and you will genuinely struggle to keep your business afloat when you're outsourcing so many different things to save your time, but then your time is getting wasted partying or spending the money because you've never seen 10, 15, 20K a month before, right? I've been there, that's how I know, okay? So make sure if you are going to be outsourcing and you want to take your time back, you still invest your time into the high return on investment tasks that is going to take you to the next level. So I know this is a very different style of YouTube video. Let me know if you like this style. Like I say, I am a small creator. I've got a small audience. So if you do like this style a little bit more, drop a comment because that will help me understand what it is you guys really want to see. If you've got any video suggestions for me as well, drop another comment. Let me know. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. And I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.